Hello and welcome to Denny's No Reservation. My name is Sammy Two Slap. I'm a co-owner of Nefarious Gaming and team captain of NG Gremlins in Economy League for LBLCS. I would love to welcome you to this new content show, Denny's No Reservations. It's an off-brand of the booth, but we don't need the reservations to get there. And this pretty much will be a series of interviews with org owners, admins, players, anyone who wants to do it and wants to get to know the community and the community can interact with each other. So, coming today to join me is owner of LBLCS, Buggleberry.
What's going on, Sammy? Yeah, kind of like co-owner, co-creator of its existence. Yeah, for sure.
Now, Buggle, tell me a little bit about your gaming background. Like, what started it off for you?
Oh boy. Like the very essence of the beginning of gaming, or the very essence of just gaming on the computer, or where do you, I can hit it off the ground running
In
anywhere.
general,
In
like
general, okay.
when you were a baby, what was the first game you played?
Oh, goodness me. All right. The okay. Well, the most deep memories I have are like Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced. There is a SpongeBob game. There's no way I could remember its name. There was a SpongeBob game on Game Boy Color. I remember playing that. I remember staying up late and playing on my Game Boy Advance from Pokemon Emerald to anything else. Um, I got an Xbox when I was a little kid, mostly console gaming until really high school when I could buy my own PC. And then that kind of developed to where I found League, and that's how I stayed in touch with people. And then it kind of just organically grew into something bigger and bigger.
Okay. What what was your biggest interest into League of Legends? What brought you into this world that we all love?
Um, Definitely uh, it was introduced from my older brother, and then the reason why it was so captivating and why I stayed at it and playing it for so long was that my older brother was leaving, going to college. There was a lot of my friends who were older that were gamers that were going to college, and it's a really easy way to just get on the computer, be able to talk to a couple of your friends, be able to be doing something while you're talking. And I think just the general ability to stay in touch with each other is what kept me gaming for so long and so constantly. I think having a community and a group of people that are like you're always talking to and you're always being with, that's what tied me to playing League for so long. I did get a little addicted to rank climbing when I was in college myself, and then that kind of petered off, and I don't really do it too much anymore. But it's more of like a social event for me than anything.
Okay. That's pretty much the same way it was with me, except it was just a bunch of my friends and being around different people, just wanting to find something that we could all play together and have a good time and stay in touch
Yeah.
since I have friends from all over the country.
Well, that's the other thing too. Like when people go off to college, they go like really far away, and there's no way you're going to talk to them. Maybe you send them a funny meme on your phone. Maybe you're, you know, BSing around. But for the most part, it's hard to talk to them, and it's kind of like being able to play like pick up basketball from 300 miles away, and that is just a really
Yeah.
good feeling. Be like, guys, Sunday night, let's get on, let's goof off, let's be silly and have fun and all chat. So I think that's at least for me that was a big pull to stay playing it.
All right. Now, as co-owner, co-creator, what made you guys or you and whoever else is part of the foundation of low budget LCS? What made you guys make this community that we all enjoy?
This is a weird lore question, and I will answer to the best of my ability. But at any point, you should have a chance on get his version because it might be slightly different, although most of it should be the same. Truthfully,
Okay.
while I was in college, uh, we participated in a essentially like an off-brand collegiate league where we were playing against other college teams and other stuff, and it had like really strict rules about like you have to post once a week or you get kicked out of the community, and you have to engage in certain ways or you get kicked out. And the games were scheduled, and there was all this stuff that revolved around it. And we had a really, really good time when we were playing in that community. We were like, oh, this is really fun. This is super great. And then it kind of petered out. And the reason we got into it in the first place was ranked fives used to be this thing in League of Legends. It used to be like you sign up with four other people. You guys have a collective ranked when you play ranked fives. And we used to do that all the time. Me, LeChance, Flow Snake, a Spooky Man, a couple other people used to like do that all the time. We used to play fives as much as we could. It went away. This was before Clash was a thing. And we found this league and it was okay. We were terrible. We got absolutely dumpstered. We lost almost every single game in the regular season, Sammy, which I know how everyone feels if that ever happens to them with the LBLCS. Eventually, it just organically turned into, hey, I think we could actually do this ourselves. I think we could just create our own base rules and figure this out and start it ourselves and just be less. It was a little more serious than we wanted. Like, let's be less serious. Let's have more fun with our gaming kind of thing. And that's how it created. One day I just wrote a bunch of rules and I told the chance, I'm going to make a Discord. I need you to join right away and be an admin, and we're going to try to figure it out. And he had the great idea, put it on Reddit. Let's find some people.
Okay. By chance, do you remember the name of that league that you guys first
Wow.
started?
Do I remember the
I'm just
name of
curious.
that league? Challenger something. It was Challenger something. It's not. There is a new league that is called Challenger something or Challenger Esports now. This was named something else. I want to say it was like Challenger CCL or Challenger something else like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, from LBLCS roots, from it being a small competitive league that you and LeChance started on a whim,
Mm-hmm.
to what it is today with 110 teams participating in season 15.
Sure.
How does it feel going from that small little environment to this massive blow up that it is today?
That's an interesting question. For me, the only thing I really care about is I'm gonna just give an example from the last 2 nights of streaming. The last 2 nights of streaming, I streamed one game. LeChance streamed another game. Obviously, we had co-casters of Loki and Jackie Boy. But random people from the internet would come in and they would message some stuff. And some of it was really positive, and some of it was like super like happy and all this stuff. And some people were really negative towards the teams. And the community just jumped on it and was like, hey, we're not really that negative here. We're like really pretty positive. We want you guys to say nice things in the chat. Like, we probably shouldn't be saying stuff that's rude. And for me, it doesn't matter how big or small we wax or wane. We're going to have seasons where we're bigger because there's more people that are able to help out. And we're going to have seasons that are way smaller because there's going to be times when the volunteering is running low. And so I think as long as we have people that constantly put forth like being good first, I don't really care if there's 10 teams or if there's 110 teams. You know, I love that there's 110 teams. My biggest worry about when it's big is I can't give the spotlight to everybody as much as I want, and I can't share the experience with them as much as I want. I want them to have the really fun, good experience of when you are streamed, you go watch it, and you hear a whole community cheering your name. I think that's really fun.
Gotcha. Now, if there is one thing you could do different, what would it be? Like, would it be a different rule worded a different way? Would it be
So if I
limiting
could
the number
edit
of teams?
anything completely to my ability, what would I do?
Yes.
Okay, this I hope someone you don't know is in chat because he's gonna freak out when I say this. But if I could truly do one thing, and I haven't really figured it out yet, I've been trying to figure it out. In the last couple of seasons, we've almost been tinkering in a way for me to discover the method in which we can achieve this. But obviously, I mean, even just 10 minutes ago, me and Kato were talking about things like the EPL in Community, which is the English Premier League, which has a lot to do with promotion, relegation of teams. And something I've always wanted to be able to work into, something that you constantly are part of, is like teams that stick around and stay and then get promoted and relegated in their leagues respectively based on performance. And it's super tough to do when you have like rankings with solo queues that put you in these divisions and all this stuff. But if we could ever get to a point where we have like this many teams and they're like, yes, we're totally in. And if we have a bad season, we'll just drop down. If we have a great season, we'll just go up. I think that would be a really fun culture to start to have and emulate. I know that it's basically impossible with just the way working with solo queue and ranks work, but that's the pipe dream. What would you change, Sammy? What would you change? You have all the
What would
power in the
I?
world. Yeah.
If I had the power, it would probably be the biggest thing. Would probably be trying to get the rules just a tiny bit more fine tuned. Like one of
Sure.
the new rules you guys added this year was that the lower pod teams could increase
Right. Inside of each division, right? That small
inside
increment.
of each division.
Yeah.
But if that number is at a point where that's what the team is, it kind of locks them into that spot though.
Right. Right. There's like a cutoff point where it kind of
Like
locks certain
for
teams.
my team specifically, actually,
Yeah.
the economy point is 13. My team is at 13.
Right, so you guys are
Now
locked at 13. You can't grow to that 14th, and then it kind of limits the number of players that you could
you can
either
bring
go
in
get for. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right,
exactly.
we'll
Yeah.
amend the rules. Sammy's team's allowed to go to 20. Everybody else is
Okay.
13, but
That's,
Sammy can go to 20.
no, we're not doing that. But that would be awesome. Now, I do know, besides the whole relegation and promotion
Yeah.
idea that you have going on, are there anything else in the works for future seasons that you can tell us?
Yeah, I can tell you the last two seasons have been the seasons we have edited the league the most based on feedback by far. I think we're getting better at sending out a form for people to vent frustrations, to comment on things they think that could be better inside of it, to really engage with the people that are up on top in the community. They're just the ones organizing it, right? It's just like a rec league. It's just a thing you come play for
Yes.
free and have fun. So we do take everything people say really seriously. Everything that was a majority vote, that was like, do you want fearless draft? Everything that was a majority vote, we pushed through and we made come true this season. So is there anything I want to see change? I want to see people, even during the regular season, think of ideas to put on the form at the end of the season anyway. Like we want to change the league and we want to fine tune it, and we don't want to accept every single idea that exists. But if 600 out of the 1,000 people playing are saying, hey, I think it might be better if we move this way, and the other 400 people aren't completely against it, like up in arms against it, that's a real conversation that people that are helping run the league need to have with each other and figure out, is this possible, and what are the systems we can put in place to make it happen. So I think any involvement with trying to make it better or make it more friendly to all is a big thing that's been going on that I want to see continue.
All right. That's actually really cool and a really good idea. Letting the community, like during the season, also vocalize that those ideas to probably put onto the form.
Yeah, and there's a nice
Now,
way to do it, Sammy, too. I want you to know there's a nice
yes,
way to do it, and there's a not nice way to do it. I would greatly prefer the nice way, but I recognize both exist.
yes, both ways do exist, and you have to filter the bad ways and the good ways,
Right.
and try and make sure you're right on that line. Now, I know you're on win trading this season up in commercial
Yeah,
league.
yes, that is the admin. A lot of admins on the team is called win trading. That's true. Yep, that's the team I'm on.
Now, I know your first match is tomorrow,
Sure.
but have you guys had any practices or anything going
Oh boy, I hope my team's not watching.
before?
Yes, we've had a bunch of scrims. I have not gone to any of them, so I apologize to my team for not going to anything. School just started back up, so I've been super busy. They have been scrimming. I literally have never played Fearless in my life. I will be doing it for the first time tomorrow in my game. Hopefully people are ready to step in for when I crash out, but it's tomorrow. I'm ready to play. I'm gonna play. play 2 champions, hopefully, if we do well, or if we do really poorly, and maybe 3 if no one's ready to tag in. But yeah, I mean, I'm ready. You aren't playing this season. You're just managing and coaching, right?
Managing and subbing.
Managing and subbing.
Not I'm not coaching. We have a coach for the team, but
Got you.
I help keep the team schedule on track
Yep.
so that way we're not
Headphones
like
on when they're drafting, listening,
just
suggesting. Yeah, okay.
making sure that they're they're all on time, making sure
Nice.
I get the schedules done so that way we have our matches prepped ahead of time.
Yes, you've stepped into the administration role, which everybody at LVLCS knows so well of making sure things
Yeah.
operate correctly. Yeah.
Now, what now tell me, when you're not playing League of Legends,
Mm-hmm.
what do you generally do?
What, like, in general with hobbies in my life, or what I'm doing to make money so I
Hobbies,
can exist on the planet Earth, or
whatever you feel like sharing. It's open ended. It could
I
be
would love to
hobbies,
share the
anything
thing, and
you
I
want.
actually had an amazing member of the community reach out to me just before we went live. I coach a lot of soccer. I coach multiple different teams, and I recently just got a player. And this is also a big shout out to anybody who could help me too. If you're able to help me, please help me out. But I got a new player that is only speaks Ukrainian, and they speak very
Oh,
little English, and it's super hard to communicate with that person. And I just need to learn how to pronounce the most generic of ideas. It could just be 1 or 2 words. It could just be anything that anyone can help me just pronounce correctly. So when I say it, they're not looking at me like I have 6 heads. I tried YouTube a little bit. I tried AI, and that stuff is doing some help, but definitely not going to be enough for how quickly I'm going to need to kind of pick up. I'm going to like write some phonetics, like ways of speaking it
yeah.
down. So I do a lot of coaching. I go to a lot of soccer games myself. I run this league almost all the time. Not as much as people like Seer and Praetorian, who are just absolute workhorses and they do so much work for us. Or the dev team. I don't know what's going on in the dev channel. They are some freaks of nature. I don't know who Ruffian
Yes,
and
they are.
Ducky Lord and that whole group, Cloud Turtle, everybody that's in there, absolute saints beyond belief. But I am kind of
I,
at disposal and the whim of what anyone needs. I get a lot of DMs every day, so it's a lot of just attending to people's needs and hang out with my fiance and coaching soccer.
yeah. When I look in the dev channel, I look at them, my brain fries, and then I'm just like, nope, no more.
Yes. Yeah, it's like
Because
I don't
it's like,
actually know what's happening at all in here. I'm gonna leave. I don't want to mess this up.
yeah. So do and during the off season,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just more coaching and hang out with the fiance and stuff like that. Or
For the most
are
part,
there any other things you do during
I
the
would
off season?
say immediately after the off season and immediately before we release signups, and then like right when signups end. Those are actually the most busiest times for me regarding the league directly, just because it's the most decision making, it's the most reading through things. Like we read through all 100. There's 150 something applications this season, maybe even more than that if I'm really recalling everything. So just thinking about making decisions that are best for everybody. There's a lot of that. There's also I like to travel a lot. I know Brikachu calls me out on it. Somebody else called me out on it the other day. But yeah, I travel a lot. My fiance speaks Spanish, so we've been to Spain a bunch. We just got back from Costa Rica a little while ago.
Okay.
So I like to travel a lot. It's super fun. I like to eat good food. Actually, I love that this is called No Reservations. It reminds me of Anthony Bourdain, even though we're in a Denny's. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, just a lot of that.
So, all right, you said you like to travel.
Yeah.
Where has been your most favorite place to travel probably within the last 10 years?
Oh, loaded question, Sammy. Let me think. Let me think about
Yes.
this. All right, so I really have an affinity for Spain and Portugal. I find the entire Iberian Peninsula just fascinating and wonderful. But Italy, the food. If I could go to Italy and live there right now, I would. And honestly, Costa Rica. Obviously, I'm a little, you know, got the after effects from just being there. But that place
Yeah.
is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, butterflies literally a foot long wingspan. They're like blue morphos. They're like these huge blue butterflies that fly all over the place. You see so many. There's volcanoes. It's really magical. It's like I get why people think fairies exist. I would too if I lived here for more than 10 days. My absolute favorite place though is it's got to be Positano in Italy. It's got to be. It's gorgeous. The mountain leads right into the coast, and I gotta say, I would say goodbye to this. I'd hand it right over to any one of you if they let me sign the papers and go there.
I'll pay you 30 cents for it. And then you can go
25. I gotta talk you down.
25,
Yeah,
20.
20. I'll give it
Uh,
to you for free. All right.
okay. Uh, now, now that the season's actually going
Mm-hmm.
into its 15th season,
Yeah, it's crazy.
what what do you think of the how trying to think the best way?
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to make 15 seasons of LBLCS?
I didn't even know if it was gonna make one season of LBLCS, Sammy. Our very first event was actually an ARAM event because we had gotten like 80 total people into the server, and we were like, we could probably throw an ARAM event. That's enough people to do an ARAM event. Which is what we did. And then we were like, let's try to do a first season. We had 10 teams in the first season. Um, so, no, to be honest with you, I didn't know how long it was going to last. I didn't know how long it was going to do. I also didn't know how long would I want to do this for? How long would other people want to do this for? How long people want to play in it? Would people come in for one season and then all leave, or would people come and stay? And how could we convince them to stay and play longer and do more? So, um, no. The short answer is no, and the long answer is the one I gave you before the word no. So
So now with God, how many people is it? Over 1,000 people,
how
or
many players did we have to do background
well,
checks on? It was a
no,
thousand
like
one
how many
hundred
do we have in
sixty-three.
the? I was wondering how many members are in the community.
Whoa, 4,080 ish. How many are really active? I think it leans towards 3,000. I believe that's a more accurate like
I mean,
active
going
count.
from 80 people for your ARAM tournament to now 40 or 4,000 people in the Discord in general.
Yeah,
And it seems like most of them are active. And
there's a lot
that's
of
the one
engagement.
of the
Yeah,
reasons I made this show
yeah,
was because we have no real bridge between the people in the LCS division, which is your guys' new highest league,
right. Finally ours.
and the economy players because they really wouldn't interact unless they knew each other previously.
Yeah,
Now, I'm hoping with this, with more interviews and stuff, we can get more interaction between those divisions of like, oh, this person had a similar startup to me, or they got into league the same reason I did. Maybe I can go talk to them and
right, or go watch
oh,
them and have good banter in the Twitch channel. Like
yeah,
someone calls their shot and they go do it and you get excited for them, or just putting a story behind every person makes you just way more connected to them. And actually, somebody in this season, going back to something we talked about earlier, someone this season was like, we should have chats for an entire league. We should have economy team chats where like everyone on the teams in economy can talk to each other and everyone in commercial teams can talk to each other. And that is super cool, and we love that. And we're like, yeah, let's put that in right away. Let's have people talk to each other. Let's get them more involved with at least their own specific little community. Because when you look at it as like the whole grand scheme of things, it's a little overwhelming or daunting to try to even where do I start to even talk to people?
yeah. And I figured this show could help with that
Yeah, for sure.
whole thing. I wanted to get the community to get to know each other on a more deep level than just, oh, I know that person from league and they're all right, but maybe get a little bit of background from everyone to see,
Yeah, just
like,
who's who, and who are you,
yeah,
and
who's
why are you here, and are we best friends? And we are best friends, and let's hang out.
now. I will say we do want this to run about 30 minutes. We're at 25.
Whoa, we've been flying.
Uh, but I just want to say real quick to everyone that we will be releasing a form. So if you want to be on this show, you'll just fill out the form and then I will reach out to you.
Cool.
And I may just reach out to you in general also if I think you would be a good fit into the show. And this will be the only live stream show. We just wanted to do the first episode live for everyone.
So the rest are
So
going to be recorded and then
recorded.
kind of
Yes.
put where?
On YouTube. On the
Okay.
LBLCS YouTube.
Got you.
So like you guys have your season 14 playlist. There'll be a playlist in its own for the Denny's No Reservations.
Nice.
So I will say this. Thank you for coming to join us on the premiere episode, Denny's No Reservations.
Dude, thank you for
And we
having
would
me.
love to see you on the next one. Now, like I said, we do have, I will be reaching out to people for future interviews and there will be a form. And there is a streamed match tonight at 8 o'clock for
It's
Audit
LeChance
Division again.
and Ojai Vega streaming. What two teams?
Buy Our Food
Buy.
and Imperial Legion.
Buy Our Food and Imperial Legion. Buy Our Food sounds brand new, but it gets tough when you're 15 seasons in trying to remember everybody. But Imperial Legion doesn't. Oh man, I'm getting confused with Imperial Marauders. Is it just the Imperial? Is it just Vader use choke org?
It's Vader use Choke Org, but
Okay.
it's a new team for them.
Okay.
And buy our food
Mm-hmm.
is, I believe, a new org also
Okay.
coming into.
So two brand new teams in the brand new division of Audit. Very sweet. Sammy, thank you
And
so much
that,
for having me on, dude. By the way, super super grateful.
no problem. And that stream will be on at 8 o'clock EST tonight. So just about 55 minutes.
Cool.
And we want to tell everyone thank you again. Join us on the next one on YouTube. And Buggle, do you have any last words?
Someone just redeemed a hunk alert. Buggle, who do you think is gonna win commercial? Not me. Anyone but me is gonna win commercial, and I'll put Schmeckles on it now. Thanks, Sammy. See you later, man.
No problem.